behavioral analyst and a transformation therapist, wherein I work with people who are, say, feeling stuck or unable to move forward in their life. I help them to give them a little bit of direction through different modalities and different techniques in such a way that they find direction and they find progress in their life. So I mainly work through handwriting analysis, play therapy, art therapy, healing, affirmations, to kind of give them more direction in the way they move forward.
Okay. So how did you stumble upon this idea to start a venture of your own into mainly into coaching and this kind of trainings?
So this idea actually came to me when I was in need of a mentor and a coach. I was going through a bad phase in my life and went through a series of challenges after my first child was born. And that is when I had somebody to handhold me and create this direction for me to move forward in life. And that is when I felt that if I am able to move forward and take this stand for myself, there would be so many other people who would require a similar kind of direction and a little hand holding. So that is when this whole thing came in, that okay, why not I get trained and I get certified to do this kind of work in such a way that I could be a catalyst in transforming more and more people.
That's a very nice thought indeed. How did you have to do any special coaching or certification to start this venture of yours?
Yes.
So could you please explain?
Yeah. So I have been a certified counselor, wherein I did student counseling and a diploma in relationship counseling. I have been a certified handwriting analyst, where we get to analyze only once we complete, say, about 1,000 samples. We get our certification to analyze behavior and rectify behavior through a science called as graphology. As a play therapist, I got certified from the Institute of Pune, wherein we understand that how play therapy works on people and kids to understand by the way they play a game. So that is a certification that I've done. I've been a certified art therapist, wherein I can analyze behavior even by the drawing that people do. So a lot of people who are not willing to write or show off through writing, they love to express it through art. So that also gives us a lot of insight on what is going on in them. Another training that I have done and a certification which is called as radical healing, wherein you get to understand how your body and energy centers in your body have different thought processes, and how do you change it through affirmations, and how do you bring in the right thought process. So that is another certification that I've done. And lastly, I've been a law of attraction trainer, which kind of works with the law of attraction and how the secret and different laws of nature can enhance your growth, to understand a bigger picture of life. So those are the different kind of certifications that I've been doing, and I think still the learning is in process.
That's a lot of certifications actually. Um, and what are the actual services that you offer in the sense like who are your customers? What kind of people come to you?
So I have customers, say, from teenagers to couples to business partners, to addicts, people who are addicted to maybe a substance abuse or any of those alcohol addicts or anything. Or I have also have young entrepreneurs who are unable to see with clarity of where they want to move ahead. So it is like, I there are people who are confused in life, and they get stressed by certain areas in their life, and they are not able to handle that. And that is when they come and they kind of approach and they seek that logical discussions, and how more things can kind of come out of that core issue that is coming up. So when we hit the core, that is when we realize, oh, that whole core is kind of working across every area of their life, and they're not able to solve that core issue. So I help them to solve that and resolve that core issue, which kind of eliminates a lot of their problems, which are more of a symptom based and not a core based issue.
Okay.
From any age group, in fact, teenagers to all kinds of adults.
Okay. So your work itself is like a social work, in fact, the kind of work you're doing, right?
Yes,
Apart from this, are you you have I think you're working with NGOs also, right?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So could you please elaborate more on what kind of work you're doing for NGOs?
So there is this one NGO wherein we kind of, Vishwas is a counseling center, and Banjara is a counseling center in Bangalore. So those are the counseling centers which are like an NGO based. So Banjara is mainly an academy, but Vishwas is an NGO which offers free counseling. So that is where is one where kind of I operate and kind of work with them to give free counseling service to anybody who is needy. That is one. And recently I started working with a visually impaired kind of an NGO where they want to kind of work with all those people who are visually impaired, and they want to see that how through games and through activities they get more confident and they get more direction in life through create a better future for them. So that is something which I've been working with those two NGOs specifically.
Okay. And you also have some international clients. So yeah, so how did you go about getting your first international client?
So my first international client came from a parent that I was working with, and she was one of, she was her daughter, and she was going through something in her life, and that is when I got I got connected to her in US, and once she went through certain changes and people around her in the United States saw changes, they kind of started getting in touch with me. And through them, I kind of worked with some European clients in the UK, and that has been like at least about 8-10 clients from Europe, and I think I've lost count from the US clients now. But yeah, so those were it was just about word of mouth. That was the only way I think this kind of work does, because those people can see the change in their near and dear ones, and they can appreciate that change. So that is how I've kind of stumbled there.
So do you have to abide by any international rules and regulations when you have to coach or train international clients?
No, so these are I'm not working through any institute in the United States or the London where I
Okay. Mm.
need any permission like that. And this is by as a therapist, these people, when I kind of talk to them, I take a little commitment that this will be the way we work, and these are the certain things that would come across. So they are very well aware of everything that I do and every scientific process that we work with. So that is how it becomes very easy for not not get into more legalities. That, yeah.
Okay. So what do you attribute your success to?
I think all my teachers and mentors who have been there, and even my family who's been there, because every time I fall short of that little motivation and drive, uh, there is somebody who will come and tell me that you've done a little uh, catalyst to somebody else's life, right? So all my teachers and all my family members who have been there to just push me that, it's not about the money and it's not about, but you're kind of transforming so many lives, going ahead. So that is something which kind of, I think that's my success and that's my backbone, because if they wouldn't allow me to do something like this, I don't think, I would be doing this. Because many a times I've come across and I've, come back and I've been depressed or I've been angry and I've been
But,
frustrated at home because of, whatever you hear and you come back with.
true, true, very true.
They have been able to handle me with, care and compassion, because they know that, okay, something has happened and something is not right. So they give me that space and they give me that, environment that it's fine and, go ahead, but it's still okay. So over now, I feel that, okay, they have been a complete backbone to handle all my tantrums and all my frustrations and everything.
Yeah, in fact, that was going to be my next question because you deal with a lot of these people who are uh, s- kind of imbalanced mentally or emotionally.
Yes,
And
yes.
then, yeah, to be a motivator to such people, you need the energy uh, in you to, handle all this pressure, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it has not been easy. Now I think it's been about 14 years. I mean, 14 years, I was a parenting coach and 10 plus years into a lot of these stuff. So I would say now I'm able to switch on, switch off, that once the client is done, I'm able to leave that thing behind and, kind of move ahead. But initially, yes, it was not very easy for me to come home and not think about that client or not feel bad about that client. And at times, I've also, certain clients have not responded, and certain clients have just kind of moved away. And, so I used to feel guilty also that have I done anything wrong? Have I, kind of not done my best to show them the right path? Or have I fell short of something? So those were a lot of conflicts which I went through initially. That it's not been an easy journey, but now coping with that. But yeah, certain clients still do trigger and certain clients make beyond time also. Yeah.
And what are your working hours typically? Because you are into this kind of mentoring, so it must be. I don't
Uh,
think you have a fixed time of working, right? Yeah.
No, I don't have a fixed time of working as such. I mean, most of my work is on appointments that I kind of do. But because of the US and the UK, so there are a lot of those time schedules which have to be kind of worked according to their schedule. So, and plus, I do keep getting calls at times that, this is happening to me and this is not going right. So, the phone calls are always there, but it's not really such. But if I have to say a work time, mainly from 10 to 6, 6:30 is generally what I would prefer to do a work, unless the clients, the US and all that, which are the night clients that I would have to work with. Otherwise,
Okay. So, and typically, what is the duration that you hold a client with you? Uh, for how many months, or is it like till the problem gets solved? Uh, how how do you manage that?
about 8 to 10 sessions. So about say 2 months, a little more than 2 months, max to max 3 months, I would say, not more than that. And it's like a weekly session that we do. So if the person is committed and kind of does everything, within 2 months they will see a stark difference in what they are going through, and one of their core issues is definitely kind of moved on. But otherwise, as and when, then after that, as and when the problem comes in, we kind of deal with it that way. So the first 2 or 3 months is what crucial. That is what I would kind of work with.
And you have been associated with CIMSME for over a year now, or close to a year?
Close to a year. Last year is when the nominations had.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is your learning, or how do you find this journey with CIMSME?
Oh, it's been a very enriching journey, and I keep seeing, though I'm a very silent person, I don't kind of really, uh, kind of put my thoughts on the groups and all that. But I see a lot of women and people who are so inspiring, and they do such a lovely job, selfless things, which kind of really motivates me to do a little more than what I would want to do. So that has been a great learning, and the kind of vision and the kind of things that people come up with is just amazing. So I feel lots to learn and lots to kind of grow from here as an individual and as a professional. Yeah.
And how do you find work-life balance? How do you manage that?
Oh, work-life balance. I think now it's been pretty easy. Initially, it was not so easy, but now I do kind of have my own ways to get my me time and get that family time, because with the kind of work that I'm doing, it's strenuous at that point of time, because you need to be very objective with your client. But then when I come home, at least 2 hours in the evening or 2 hours in the morning, I would not want to do anything but just spend time with the kids, or family, or just unwind with my own me time, or watch something or do something that I enjoy. So that is something that I kind of balance it, so that when I get back to my clients, I'm more positive and motivated myself for me to show any direction to them. So that is somewhere I think I'm balancing it.
And lastly, what is your message to women entrepreneurs?
Oh, I think all of us have our own journey, and all of us have our own uh, what do you say, the conflict and the journey that we go through within us as women, month on month, year on year, with every experience that we come across as probably a daughter, a wife, a mother, a mother-in-law. So my only message is, I think, keep yourself positive, because the more you are positive, the people around you have an environment, and I think we are the catalyst as women to kind of bring that positivity and bring that transformation in everybody around us. So I would say, just be positive, be there, and hold yourself right. I think everything else falls in place.
Very good message. Thank you so much, Ms. Amidoshi, and congratulations once again for uh, winning this Women in Business Award.
Thank
And thank you for joining us on this show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.